Good morning, everybody. This is the right side of campus on SBR Picks at SBRforum.com. Today is Friday, October 5th, a football Friday here on the channels. We welcome you in. Hope you had a great Thursday evening. I am the big man on campus. We'll be joined in one moment by our co-host Donnie Rightside. Donnie, couple things going on. A lot of baseball, a lot of football, that and more. We'll get to it over the weekend. How you doing?
Doing good. Yesterday's one of those days I wish I actually would have just bet the board because it seemed like everything I touched yesterday or said actually came true. But look, you're going to have those nights, and then you're going to have those nights where absolutely nothing goes your way. But a big football Friday, we preach patience here. Let's find some winners in the card. 4 baseball games today, college football tonight, huge slate Saturday, Sunday NFL. Feels good, man. And of course, if you stayed up late, which I didn't, so I had to wake up and check the score of the Thursday night football game. I had to wake up and check my Philadelphia Flyers score. Everything turned out right last night. Amazing.
Yep, Flyers win. Nice, easy win there. Football was fun as well. A lot went on. We'll get into all that stuff and more over the next hour. Make sure you hit the like button, retweet the show as well. And look, also make sure you check out other channels. A lot going on. A lot of great content going on, whether it's NBA, whether it's NHL, football, whatever you want. SBR's got you covered. Uh, and look, retweet the show is important. Make sure you're doing that. It's a great way to get it out to people that might not see it. Some followers you have, we don't have, so it's always a great way to broaden the show's horizons. Donnie, let's welcome everyone in. What do you got? You got any shout outs there? What do we got? Got some people in here?
No, we're not shouting anybody out. Come on. What type of show we running here? We are the stars of this show. Let's get this show moving here. No shout outs today. It's Friday. We don't even have time for shout outs, Jeff. It's an action packed show.
All right. Then I'll do it, I guess. Who do we have here? We have Eric, Troy, Jared, Mike, Giorgio, Chris. Uh, hit the like button. Good name. A lot of people in here. Welcome in. Thanks for checking us out. What was with that comment, Donnie? What do you had a
Let's
bad day
do
or
it, baby.
something?
Let's do it. What do we got, baby? What do we got? I'm excited, man. Football Friday. We're about to lay the hammer down today, Jeff. Busy day here on the channels. What do we got, man?
Settle down, Donnie.
I know. Seems like
Let's get into this.
coffee over there. Do you have your coffee? Usually sipping some coffee in the morning show. Let's get that wake up going on over there, huh?
I'm completely fine. I'm shouting out the listeners, Donnie. What's wrong with that? You have an issue with that?
No, it just
Uh,
sounds like
let-
we're in slow motion today. Maybe a little dial-up internet on your end, man. We're excited. Get that
oh yeah,
energy flowing today.
the guy that goes to bed at 10 o'clock at night. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Wakes up
I
ready to go for the
I'm in
show,
slow mode.
baby. That's just why I have so much energy in the mornings, man. We're ready. I've been up since the crack of dawn, excited to get on here and do this show.
Okay. Well, start us out. What do we have?
Out of Boston radio rips Yankees fans. I think you can translate that to everybody always rips Yankees fans in this one, Jeff. Is there a story behind this we should be looking at, or is just every day you
Yeah,
see Yankees fans acting a fool out there?
no,
Go
no,
ahead.
there's a major story, and Mike Felger's a fucking hack. He always has been and always will be. Mike
Who's
Felger's
Mike
trying to
Felger?
start.
Explain. Go ahead. Mike Felger.
He's a he's a Boston radio. Uh, he's the Boston radio guy. He's basically, your city's favorite radio guy. Does sports, all that kind of thing for 98.5, I believe. But basically, what he did was he called Yankee fans Goomba animals. Which, look, I'm sick of the fucking stereotypes of Yankee fans. All right, not everybody's like that. Do I fit the profile of that? I'm not a Goomba, which is a derogatory term, by the way. Might be Mike Felger didn't know that. It's derogatory towards Italian Americans, and it's not germane, really. I don't know why he's calling people that. Second of all, there are plenty of Yankee fans. There are plenty of Yankee fans, whether you're a woman, a male, whatever you follow or believe in. There's Yankee fans of all kinds. This is pathetic behavior by Mike Felger, but it's not the first time. Michael Felger's been involved many times with, racial terms and saying stupid stuff. He was also he called Roy Halladay a moron for dying in a plane crash. He's made comments about other people. He's a scumbag. That's what he does. This was pathetic behavior by him, and I think a little bit out of line.
I don't really know much of the back, but Boston doesn't like New York and vice versa. So you're always going to try to get that one up on each other. And I guess until the next episode comes out, because you have two of the worst I mean, fan base is impossible or insufferable fan bases, both Yankee and Red Sox fans. I mean, they each have their own trials, but it's passionate Northeast. That's what you get out of it. Same thing with Philadelphia. You're going to get your bad element of Philadelphia fans as well, but it just seems like now it's going to be heightened since they're going to be playing for, stakes on moving on. And, this is what you want to see with two passionate, angry fan bases. They're going to cheap shot each other. They're going to look and pick out stuff and say, like Boston's the most racist city on the planet, and then New York's got a bunch of Goomba thugs in the stands. I mean, that's what they do when they play, each other go back and forth.
Okay, Donnie, let's throw it the other way. What if let's say Mike Francesa called them an Irish derogatory thing? Do you think that would? I mean, again, you know, you leave that out of it. There's no need for that. You want to say, oh, every Italian guy has a gold chain and spikes his hair. Well, then okay, that's kind of funny. But I mean, there's no need to use Goomba animals. There's no need for that. Just have some fun with it. Mike Felger's that's what he does. He's always pulling that crap. But it'll be a great series nonetheless. We're looking forward to the series. What's up, Alex, Donald, Eric, Sam? Fight presser, UFC, Khabib and Conor McGregor getting going tomorrow. Conor McGregor was very late. Look, Conor McGregor's an asshole. I mean, we all know it. Everybody knows it. He's interesting. He's funny at times, but he is very disrespectful to his opponent. I think a lot of people either want to see Conor win or they want to see Conor get his ass kicked. He's funny to me. I guess he has his moments. I think he's a little out of line and immature at times. Some of his behavior off the felt or off the ring was a bit ridiculous. But he is a guy that is a big draw, and this is a big fight. Donnie, would you rather see Conor McGregor get his ass kicked or do the ass kick?
No, I don't know. Yeah, like I like his shtick because I'm not really a big UFC guy as it is. It's pretty boring to me overall, except when Conor McGregor gets involved because he spices it up, drops a lot of F-bombs, very sure of himself, knows how to get under the opponent's skin, so to speak, in order to get them to fight back. The whole Nate Diaz stuff, I thought that was hilarious. Watching yesterday at the press conference, two guys that look like they don't like each other all that much. But then again, he's a businessman. I mean, you see him going up against saying the most vile things possible, making fun of Floyd Mayweather when they fought. And then as soon as they were done fighting, they're like best friends in the world saying, yeah, we got over on everybody, didn't we? Look at all that money we just made. So he's probably doing the same thing here with Khabib also. But it's good for theater because most of the times they're boring pressers and, they stand toe-to-toe. There's not much going on. But when you have a Conor presser, you tend to want to tune in because it's almost like stand-up comedian time up there.
Yeah, but this isn't necessary. They're gonna sell a ton of fight passes for this anyway. They don't need the behavior from him. I don't know why you can't just go up there. You have to be late. I mean, seriously. I mean, Donnie, do you think they really need this? Let's be honest. And they're going to sell.
Well, I mean, that's why he's a big draw, though. Let's just say if Conor McGregor didn't have the outgoing personality, would it be that big of a fight? Like, you need that boisterous, guy to just keep running his mouth because you get the haters and then you get the likers of Conor McGregor, and that's why he's the biggest draw in the sport.
I think Conor McGregor should be tested for cocaine. Conor McGregor seems to be a cocaine addict to me. But I don't know if they test for that. I'm sure they do. Conor's obviously a big draw, so I'm sure they'll look the other way. But he looks to me like he's on coke. Khabib undefeated. That'll be interesting. I think you get a good price on Khabib right now. But Conor coming back, we'll see how it goes. Look, we don't follow UFC. We're not big UFC people, but I'll definitely get this fight. And that's kind of what you want. You want people like me that are going to buy it, and they're going to be those random people that'll buy it. And your regular people are always going to get it, but getting people like me or Donnie to buy it would be what you're looking for.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like that. Like that's maybe the reason I would check into it. But Nurmagomedov, I mean, I've never seen him throw a single punch in UFC, so I have no idea what he brings to the table. But I have watched a few Conor fights.
Donnie, it's Nurmagomedov.
I went for the official spelling today on how they pronounce it, and I have Nurmagomedov.
Domedov. Nonetheless, very fascinating name. Habib.
That's why they just call him that. That's why they don't even put his last name on the selections when they're hyping the fight. That's pretty funny. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, just Habib. Conor's behavior is why he makes the big money along with winning. Well, Fair enough. For me, I'm gonna go Khabib, Donnie. We'll make some fun predictions. What do you think? I'm going Khabib.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've never seen it. We're giving predictions out, and I've never seen the guy fight before in my life. So I'm just gonna go with Connor. How about that for predictions? That work?
Hey, speaking of Connor, Donnie, Connor's from Dublin. Dublin. I'm gonna continue to push this movie. I watched it yesterday. It was terrific. If you have Netflix, Cardboard Gangsters, it's fantastic. It's clearly turned into like one of my favorite movies. I loved it. I loved the movie. It kind of has a state property feel, Donnie, to it.
Okay,
Yet
yeah, there you
it's
go. With
but
Jeff,
it's
State Property
Irish.
1 or 2 though? Which one? Both
Uh,
of them?
Definitely one because I mean, again, he's kind of like it's about these Irish guys. They live in this like really kind of run down part of Dublin,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
the kid's basically the main character. Who I got to tell you, Donnie, you know what I felt like watching this kid? I
What's
saw a
that?
young James Gandolfini. I thought he was terrific. Kid that played the main part. It's an Irish movie, so it never will get over here. But it won like all sorts of awards at like film festivals over there, and it's about this kid that basically he's really down on his luck. He's like a DJ. He's trying to like make money for his family. He's got nothing. His mother's getting loans from drug dealers and stuff like that. And it's based about his rise as a drug dealer and him having to deal with everything else that goes on. It was really good. I loved it. The soundtrack was great. It's a shame that it was just kind of on, you know, Netflix, but I really liked it. So if you have a you're looking for a movie to watch some night or something, check it out on Netflix. A couple random story here, Donnie. Suge Knight, who I believe yesterday was sentenced to 28 years in prison over some of his antics, on the street. This is really about his son, though. His son Suge Knight Jr. claims that um, Tupac Shakur is alive and has been living in Malaysia. There have been videos and photos surfacing of uh, the rapper and Tupac Jr. or Suge Knight Jr. First of all, do you believe Suge Knight Jr.? Second of all, that do you really think Tupac is somewhere living his
Yeah, I
life?
like to believe he is somewhere because, when he was murdered, I was in college at the time, and, we had some endless tracks from Tupac coming out for at least, like, the next decade. So we always joked that he was alive at this point because how could you have a catalog that large being such a young guy and continuously putting out hit after hit after hit, album after album after album, and the guy's been gone 10 years. So we always like to keep it up. But in this day and age, somebody is taking a photo of you, somebody is leaking something. And wouldn't it have been great, Jeff, if, somewhere in 2012 on Twitter, he just opens up an account and says he's back. It would have been the biggest comeback of all time. We would have all rejoiced. So I don't think there's too much to the story. But by the way, Suge Knight getting sentenced. Does it feel to me, Jeff, over the last 20 years, Suge Knight's been sentenced to,
Yep.
30 years
Yep.
in prison every other year, it seems like? Man, that guy
Yes.
has 9 lives, man. Woo.
No, and I keep thinking like I thought this guy was in jail. Like, how does he keep getting out? But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't get it. He seems like a dangerous person to be on the street. So maybe it's good that he's locked away. But as far as Tupac, I mean, look, I mean, Malaysia is Malaysia. It's a huge country. Where he is in Malaysia, we don't know. He could be on some random island where there's 50 inhabitants and they don't know who he is. Um, Listen, it could be one of those things where it's basically, someone in the CIA basically said, "Look, here you go. Stay away. If you come back, we're gonna kill you.
Yeah,
Go
no,
over
the
there. Stay
rap
away."
game was getting too big. It was an East Coast, West Coast thing. They had to settle it down. So maybe they said, look, Pac, you're worth, $10 million right now back in the day. We're just going to give you endless funds, disappear. We'll save lives and everybody can go on and be happy. Maybe that's what happened there. You never know.
I mean, I think Donnie, like even no matter who you are, like whether you're really rich or whatever, it's very difficult to go into another country, no matter who you are. If you're grounded, you're grounded. There's not much you could do. Maybe they just sent him like, it's a CIA thing. I don't know, but I guess we'll always have to wonder, Donnie. I'm sure we'll never see him, but the videos, you don't believe that's really him in the videos, do you?
Which videos?
There's been some
They got
videos
actual
surfacing.
video of him in Malaysia surfacing that
Yes,
he's around?
yeah,
No, no. I mean, but some of these movies that have come out, though, Jeff, maybe they're just taking pictures of the actors because they damn near look just like Tupac in some of these remakes and made-for-TV movies.
sure, sure. But yeah, you look at his like Suge Knight, like the elder Suge Knight. I mean, this guy's literally been arrested like so many times. It's amazing how he just keeps, Just keeps getting through it, but he won't be getting past this one. Suge Knight's got to be 60 years old, I would think, at this point, or close.
Yeah,
I
getting
mean,
up there.
he's
I
gonna
mean,
do.
yeah, sure. Yep.
He's got to do a lot of most of his life in jail going forward. So we might not see Suge Knight again. Let's move into some review here. Last night, kind of a night that I think we all thought we'd see in NFL. I mean, it wasn't a very close football game. I guess for one point it was close. I'll be honest, I didn't watch a ton of the game. I thought it would end kind of how we thought it would. Patriots cover. There was a late touchdown that if you had a teaser involving the Colts, you were able to get the job done there. But other than that, the spread really wasn't too bothersome. I know they ended up covering, but they were up late, 38-17. Nice win for the Patriots. They look like they're rolling again on offense. Josh Gordon had a touchdown. Edelman's back. Gronk looked good. Don't worry about the Patriots.
No, no, and it was, if we're gonna keep it on like West Coast rap, Jeff, there was a famous rapper named Ice Cube that said, "Shotgun shells are bad for your health." You know what also is bad for your health? Continuously betting the road team on Thursday Night Football. They can't put a spread, it seems like, high enough on Thursday Night Football. And forget even from a spread perspective, they just got gutted as soon as the kickoff happened in that football game. Indianapolis was gutted. Should have just taken my advice. You'd been much better off. Rest your top 10 guys. You had no shot whatsoever competing or winning in that football game. Final score dictated that as well. It was a blowout in the first game. Ooh, they got within 7 in the second half. Then they got blown out again. You expended a lot of energy. You go back to Indianapolis with the loss. Go out there and treat it like a preseason game. I mean, really, ramp it up. If you know you have no shot, which 90% of the road teams in the NFL on Thursday night have no shot in that football game, rest up, man. Rest up and get ready. So maybe the odds makers will adjust and tack an extra 7 points onto the line for the road team on Thursday night to try to help them out a little bit. But it's never going to be the same. We can talk, and we will. We'll talk about it every Thursday night and every Friday morning. We'll laugh at the road team and say, you know what? NFL is doing them a disservice, but nothing will change because I'm sure it was highly rated as well last night also.
Andrew Luck, 59 passes, completed 38. For what who was throwing to, that's pretty impressive. 365 yards. He had a nice game against this Patriot defense. But yeah, look, I mean, we get your feelings. Obviously, I didn't watch it, Donnie. I can't say I watched 1 minute of this game. Honestly, I was just watching.
Yeah, no,
other things.
I watched most of the first half. I actually didn't watch very much of the second half at all, but you saw from the jump. I mean, Indianapolis just outclassed, outmanned, too injured. They had no shot in that football game, but isn't that what everybody called? Did anybody bet Indianapolis out there like an idiot? Like, who bet the road team last night coming into that? Were you sharp because you took the opposite side?
I saw a lot of people.
Really?
Bet
Like it's just stunning. Like it's home team or nobody. Never, ever, ever. I don't care if the Colts were getting 49.5 last night. It's the home team or no team for your betting wallet on Thursday Night Football, people.
Yeah, I'm also sick of hearing about Josh Gordon's the next Randy Moss. Just let the guy play, all right? We don't need to
I didn't even see
compare
him in.
every.
Did he do all right? Like I watched most of the first half yesterday.
Yeah,
I didn't see. Did he even get in the game?
he had a touchdown, a big
Oh, he
touchdown.
did what? So that must have been late second half, or must have been second half. I
Yeah,
didn't
he
see
had a
his
big.
touchdown. I didn't see him in the first half. I just saw a lot of Edelman getting some work out there and stuff like that. I didn't see Gordon
Yeah,
much.
he had a big like 40-yard touchdown. It was a pretty nice play,
Yeah.
tracking back to the ball. But yeah, a game that involved not really. I don't know why you're on the Colts either. I guess maybe you just thought it was too many points. I don't know. But it is the NFL. Double digits are always nice to have, but it's tough to back the road team in these kind of games. Donnie, a couple other ones here in college. For some reason, Donnie, literally watched this entire game. I could have given up many times. I was doing other things. I was, doing some things in my house, but I watched this game for whatever reason. Houston, Tulsa, and I got to tell you, if you had Houston, you kind of knew you weren't going to cover the whole game. But if you had the over, you kind of knew you weren't going to cover the whole game. But what Houston did was they do what they normally do, Donnie. They play like shit for like 3 quarters, and then in the last quarter, they score about 20 points, and they give you the reason to think, oh, I might actually hit this thing. And they did that last night. And a savage move, Donnie, by the Tulsa coach. You're down 15, Donnie, with 5 minutes to go. It's 4th and 5 on your own 35. What are you doing?
I'm probably just going for it.
They punted Tulsa. Like, seriously, sent out their punter and punted. I couldn't believe it. You're down 15 with 5
Yeah,
minutes
could
to
have
go.
used that.
You
Could
know,
have. Hey, Lovey Smith, we could have used that a couple weeks ago. You clown.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, hey, listen. I mean, Houston just like down, like they didn't do anything in the third quarter, and in the fourth quarter they just start. They get a pick that leads to a
Yep.
touchdown, then they get a fumble that leads to a touchdown. It was an avalanche. But if you had the under, you cashed. Listen, here's the thing with Tulsa. They're not priced correctly sometimes, total wise. They're priced like they're the old Tulsa. And they're not. They have a young quarterback. They have a better defense. 41 is not indicative of how Houston played. Houston didn't play well. Derek King didn't have a good game. They turned the ball over a lot. They were just sloppy. Bad penalties. Houston's a tough team to back. They're not a very smart team. But yeah, if you want to look with Tulsa, they're being priced a bit too high sometimes. Georgia State, Troy. Troy gets the push. Whether you got 17, if you got 17 and a half, that sucks. You lose by the hook. Over comes in as well.
Yeah, that was pretty. Yesterday, like my MO was Tulsa tends to keep it close. They kept it close there, and I thought Troy was just a better overall football team from what they showed, and they ended up covering by a half because when we were doing the shows, I believe it was 16 and a half at that time. So, you had two squeakers there last night. If you were looking to back, Houston, or if you're looking to back, Georgia State in that one, it did actually, the spread was in play for most of the ball game. Troy opened up that early lead, but you felt that Georgia State would have a chance to come back and, get after it there. But I didn't watch a single snap, a single play of either one of those football games either. So I was just scoreboard watching at that point.
Couple quickly NHL games. Bruins bounce back after losing the first game. They beat the Buffalo Sabres. What else do we have here? The Predators beat the Rangers 3-2. And Donnie, how about this? The Flyers 5-2 over the Gold Knights. And I'll tell you, Donnie, I got to tell you, I told you so. I told you yesterday on the show over on WCKG. I thought the Flyers were playing this game. You had a lot of money coming in. That line wasn't really moving a ton. It ended up moving towards the end of the night, but that was all public money coming in. Flyers were live last night. This team is pretty decent, Donnie. I think. I mean, who knows what they'll end up doing this year? But you look at their first few lines; they look pretty solid. If they can get good goaltending, that's really what they've been looking for. They've had the ability. They've scored goals. It's just, can you get good and competent goalie play? Nice start for the Flyers last night on the road.
Yeah, you're right, and it's funny when you look. Like, I don't know what people look at. Like, there's hockey experts out there, and the same way people would jump in right away in the NFL and college football. But how do you know what a team is? Like, let's just say, like, the Sharps we're watching out here, 24% or like 20% on the Flyers yesterday. Line opens at 160, goes to 175. The Flyers absolutely destroy that team. Here's another line move for you, Jeff. Colorado opens up 149, 160, crashes down to a pick 'em. So all the Sharps, I guess, lining up on Minnesota. Colorado absolutely clown them. I mean, I don't know. Let's just see another couple ones like New York Islanders and Carolina. Carolina opens up at 138, closes at 170, and they get beat. I mean, like sometimes when you watch hockey or do it, like how do you know any of these teams are even any good? Because it looks like the quote unquote Sharps, like one dropped 70 cents and got blown out. Like, what are we looking at here? And is there a lot of people betting hockey to move this? Or, it fascinates me that people jump in like right away to all these sports, literally knowing that you have no idea what these hockey teams are about.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've said before, I mean, I don't bet the NHL very often. I mean, I might bet it 5 times a year on my own. But as far as the NBA, I think it's truly line movement. I mean, and you look at down to the first couple weeks here of preseason. People say, "Oh, preseason, you want to tread lightly, big man." It's not about who plays. I couldn't give a fuck who plays. I don't care if the whole team is the ball boy. It doesn't matter. Donnie, last night that King Laker game. Okay, I faded the Lakers in the preseason. I faded them the other
Mhm.
night. I'm fading them this last night. I cashed them both. Listen, it doesn't matter who plays. That has nothing to do in the NBA. I couldn't give a fuck who plays. I couldn't care what team has lost 4 in a row. I don't care about that shit. At the end of the day, Donnie, you fade the teams people like to bet. That's the NBA. That's how it works because everybody's an NBA addict. They know how to bet the NBA. Doesn't matter. Okay, look at last night. Look at all the teams that people want to back. You bet Houston. Okay, the whole world's on Houston. Line doesn't move a fucking inch. They get crushed. They lose by double digit. Kings. The whole world's on the Lakers. Line goes down a half a point. I grab the Kings. They cover. I mean, you got to do that in the NBA. And the Lakers are going to be public enemy number one this year. I'm betting against them all fucking season. If people think because they have LeBron, look. You look at the last couple of years in the NBA. The Warriors, the Cavs, some of the worst bets in the league. They don't cover. They're negative units in the NBA because they don't cover. The lines are too high. You got to look at the moves. That's all that matters in the NBA. Let's keep it moving here, Donnie. We'll get
Mhm.
down to MLB. You look at the series today. I think the one we're all looking forward to. I mean, we're all looking forward to all these, Donnie. But let me ask you. You got this last game, the Braves and the Dodgers last night. Um, just a pathetic performance by the Braves. I mean, what the hell is going on with this group? I mean, that's the performance you give in your first playoff game. Just nothing. Just absolutely just dreadful. What was going on with them?
Yeah, no, I mean, I would like to tell you what was going on with them, but game was a little bit late. I didn't see a single pitcher that woke up and was like, "Hey, look, 6-0." Under came in that one, but I didn't watch very much of baseball last night at all. I watched a lot of that Brewers game since it was on earlier. Very entertaining game. Going right to extra innings. Kristen, yeah, I mean, look, maybe you have to test. I know they always like to test the right field. Who's the Jet? Eric Thames for the Milwaukee Brewers. Maybe you should just be testing Yelich every single day, 4 to 5 times a day, because whatever he's on, you need to spread that out, brother, and give it to a lot of people in the United States because he has absolutely been unconscious for the entire year. So that's one of the teams I
Hey,
root for. But
Donnie,
yeah, I didn't see any of that night game whatsoever.
you think that 15-1 bet I made on the Brewers looks pretty good right now?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean it's a
buddy.
long. I mean I don't know how well the Brewers are going to hold up against the AL squads, but in the NL,
Well,
yeah,
listen.
I'm
Here's
rooting
the
it
great
on.
thing. I got
Mhm.
Boston 10-1 before the season.
Yeah.
So I'm begging, please give me Boston and Milwaukee. I don't have to hedge. Those are the futures you love, Donnie, where you have both sides and you just bing
Hmm.
bing. And I'm going to
Yeah.
try to hit the matchup too. If I can get a matchup prop on Brewers-Red Sox, try to hit a little trifecta. Um,
Hmm.
quickly here, we'll just gloss over these. Boston and the Yankees, 905, 906. Hap against Chris Sale. Uh, Pretty high line, Donnie, on the Red Sox. Good reason. They've been terrific at home. We got to mention that. I mean, they're 57-24 at Fenway Park this year. But Donnie, they're 1-9 over the last 10 games in October. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
They're 1-9. It's hard to believe. Um, as far as Happ and Sale, I mean, you're getting two real good pitchers. Your Sale, he hasn't went deep in a lot of these games recently, but again, that was just kind of workload probably. Um, you're coin flipping these games, Donnie, but it's hard to fade Boston at home.
No, it is hard to fade Boston at home. And look at the MO finally. How we get playoff baseball, right, Jeff? Look at these over-unders. 6.5 in the first one, 8 in the second one, 7.5, followed by 7. So finally some good action here. Move those runners over. Team Launch Angle did a good job last night. The all or nothing Los Angeles Dodgers. But that is a good one there. Who's not going to want to tune in to New York and Boston tonight? Nice Friday night game. I know you have some college football games, but that's going to take center stage. And what a great matinee game this afternoon, Jeff. 2 o'clock. Kluber versus Verlander on the mound. So you got some really good options that you can roll through, which is all we ask for as sports fans, right, Jeff? You like that midday action, a little bit slow. You're capping some games for the weekend. Got a couple baseball games on. I do enjoy it, but you're right. It's a high number for Sale in this fact. I think J Happ should do a pretty fine job in this game going up against him. Chris Sale, I don't want to say he's not been the same because at any moment he can just get back to being Cy Young Chris Sale. But you're laying a large number here on the road again in the playoffs. Both teams are good. Both teams have shots. They're not even though the Yankees did have to play a wild card game, they didn't really expose anybody or get really tired in that game. J Happ should be fine in this one. So looking forward to that game a lot.
I mean, Jay Happ in his career, 20 starts, an ERA of 3 against the Red Sox in his career. So, I mean, there's one of the reasons you brought Jay Happ in because he pitches well against Boston. So we'll see how that goes. Chris Sale, he's done well against the Yankees, though, also. Had to step away. The water department was about to turn my water off. Was at the wrong house. Yeah, listen, watch the fucking utility people in Philadelphia. Donnie, one time when I got my cable
Mm-hmm.
turned on in Philly, I remember I was just, I talked to like the technicians there. He was telling
Yep.
me, about they should make a movie about me. I said, what do you mean make a movie? He said, you see the things I see doing this job. He goes, when I have to go out and
Sure.
turn people's cable off, because at the time, it
Hmm.
was probably 7, 8 years ago. So you had to actually go out and like cut people's cable off. He goes, I have guns pulled on me. People tell me if
Yep.
you turn my cable off, I'll kill you.
Hmm.
The random things you see. And he said one time I was going up on the ladder and I was up on the ladder. He goes, I looked down, I see a gun pointed at me because I thought I was getting robbed. And the guy goes, you turn my cable off, I'll blow your head off. And
What was it, Lamana Bakery? Was it some guy named Lamana running around the neighborhood
Feach,
and, knocking things down? This is my neighborhood now. You don't work
Feach.
here no more.
No, I think it was just an angry resident that didn't want his cable turned off.
Been working this
But yeah,
neighborhood 27 years. What? What are you, deaf?
no, well, actually, Feach, that was remember him and Paulie got into it
Yep.
because
Yep. The
Feach's
neighborhood,
kid,
they had the,
yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
Feach Lamana Landscaping, it was his son. What was the kid's name?
I think it
Gary
was his
Lamana.
nephew, actually. Was it his nephew?
Yes, right.
Our
Yeah,
nephew
and
does this neighborhood now.
yeah, and because that's how they got Feach to go back upstate because he was making all sorts of waves. He was taking people's customers, and remember Paulie got pissed off and goes to find Gary, and Gary's up on
Yeah.
the tree, and he knocks the guy out with the shovel, and then pulls the thing out from under him, and he takes his lawnmower and goes, "Shit of this payment."
No,
It's
and the
just
best part
my
about it
yeah.
too is like he gets him the neighborhood back, but then taxes the guy who always had the neighborhood like he did him a favor. Oh man, that's
Oh
such a great
yes,
show. God, so great.
Sal Vitro. Yeah, sure. Because he knew Sal when they were kids. They were like friends
Yep.
when they were younger.
Oh,
Um,
so good.
yeah, Feech Samana was a bad. I hated that character. He annoyed me. He was just annoying, always telling
What was
stories.
featured? What in real, not in real life? What other movie, Jeff, was Feach prominently displayed in as a gangster?
Scarface.
There you go. Yep.
He was
Lopez Motors, man.
yeah, he was that Lopez guy. Yeah,
Yep.
he had
Mhm.
that stupid like Paradise background on at his car
Yep.
place.
That's right.
Um,
I am the boss. Yeah. Good
yeah,
stuff.
I remember that guy well. Let's keep it moving here, Donnie. Get into some other baseball here. Again, we're just glossing over these, not going crazy. First game of the day, Cleveland, Houston. A Houston 150, total 7. Kluber, Verlander. Great matchup here. I think you're getting a little disrespected if you're Cleveland. Nobody's talked about you. I think you have one of the best pitchers in baseball. Kluber's been a little touchy in the playoffs, though. But listen, if I'm taking a dog, I want Cleveland today. Give me Cleveland.
Yeah, it should be a good one. I mean, look, Verlander's been absolutely outrageous all season long, but you're not even getting a bad price there if you're going to bet Houston. I know Kluber's been on the mound, you're getting a good number, but I look at it more from the other side of it. Like, I don't want to get in front of Houston's lineup at this point, and I think Verlander can give a yeoman's effort out there to get it through. It looks like it's going to be a low-scoring game, as you said, over under 6.5 across the board. Juice to it, minus 125, minus 120, depending on where you're shopping, but doesn't look like many runs are going on the board. I'll trust the home team in this environment here because I think Houston's going to bring a little bit more to the table. You get that nice home crowd, and we'll see what happens. Kluber at home, different story for me, but I'll lean towards the lay that wood there with the Houston Astros.
Look out for criminals posing as utility workers. Yeah, they've tried to come in my house, Donnie. I had someone knock on my door about a year ago. He said he was from the electric company. He needed to come in and see my electric bill. And I said, "You're not coming in here." He goes, "Come on, I just need to check your computer out." I'm like, "Listen, bro, you're not coming in here." He goes, "I have to. Electric's gonna get turned off." I said, "Well, here's an idea. Go down to the box, turn it off. Then once you do that, maybe then I'll believe you." But I think he was trying to get into people's house like a woman. Like maybe a woman opens the door and he barrels his way in. Real
Or
scumbag.
maybe
But
just casing it. Maybe just comes in and cases it a little bit.
oh yeah, he's casing it for some old woman in their house. He beats her up and robs her. That's what he's trying to do. I saw right through those guys. You don't even have badges. You ask for a badge. That's how they know. Colorado Milwaukee game 2. Chacin against Tyler Anderson. Chacin 160, total 8. Um, I think this series is a good one. I don't think it's one of those sweeps or crazy wins or anything. Uh, again, I want to take the dogs in these matchups. I'm just being honest. I don't think Chacin's good enough to lay this price. Tyler Anderson's been very good lately. What are your thoughts on this one, Nine?
Yeah, no, just looking at overall, man, I'm a big fan of Milwaukee in this one. I'll take, 160. It looks like usually you say like, hey, man, let me just take the road team or let me just, both of these teams are good. I just think Milwaukee's on another level because when they get to the bullpen, Milwaukee. They are able to shut it down. I think that's a major advantage. And again, you have red hot players on that offense, obviously being Christian Yelich. Amazing if you think at the beginning of the season where we all lauded the Milwaukee Brewers by getting Yelich and Kane, even if we thought they would have played at half the status of both of those two teams this year, or both of those two played at, you'd have said, you know what, that was a really good trade. But both of those guys have been sensational. I don't see it slowing down right now. Maybe when they go back, Jeff, to Colorado, where they were in their home environment and the games get a little bit more out of whack, as we've seen Colorado all season long. But just from Milwaukee being at home, I'm always going to lean towards them. You have that hammer bullpen and a dominantly good lineup.
Another underrated move was getting Moustakas. I mean, Mike Moustakas, 28 home runs, 95 RBIs. Got a big hit yesterday. He's always been a very good player at third base. So you get him off a bad team, throw him in there. He's been very good as well. One more, Braves-Dodgers. I don't have much opinion on this series. I don't think the Braves are very good.
We said that all year long, right? The NL East, like the Phillies just faded down the stretch and said, just go ahead and have this. But I don't think even if the Phillies had made it in, or the Nationals had made it in, that they would be putting up much of a fight as is. You get that easy win yesterday, and it's a 5-game series, so you have to win game 2. And they saved Kershaw for this game. I would be surprised if Kershaw gets lumped up and Anibal Sanchez is the actual hero in this game. Anibal is going to throw that slow down curveball, nonsense, old man pitches. And team launch angle just needs a couple swings of the bat to get some runs here. It's going to be tough sledding. Do I want to lay 225 in the playoffs? Not really, but I'm really not interested in taking the Atlanta Braves here.
I hear you. Did you guys mention Geraldo Falgueres? No, we didn't. Donnie, there's people in this world, like, I respect Geraldo Falgueres. I think he's a fascinating guy. He's a good poker player, and he's a smart NBA bettor. The thing about him that, I don't like, Donnie, people that they almost make it a point to, like, talk real smart, even though no one knows what they're talking about. They just keep talking about derivatives and all this crazy shit that no one has any idea what they're talking about. Falgueres does that. And I found on Twitter, like, he was just a pointless follow because he never gave any info. He didn't give us picks. Like, we have no idea what he's betting. He's called the most prolific NBA bettor. No, there's no proof that he's the best NBA bettor. But the NBA,
I think I remember his story was where he was getting over where he became a good NBA bettor. Wasn't it because Vegas didn't really have the actual adjustments on the NBA second half? So if the line was 200 to start the game, it was like 100 in the first half, and then they just made an automatic 100 like in the second half just because that's what it was. I think he said he made a lot of money off of that. But outside of that, I've never followed him on Twitter. I saw he had like an ESPN article one time, but I don't know. Hey, sometimes you just get those stigmas. Maybe he's a good NBA gambler, but I'd never really paid that much attention to him.
He also, I remember reading that he like exploited his game management tendencies that he found through like different coaches, and like no one caught up to it, so he just did it. But I guess the Mavs hired him as director of quantitative research and development.
Yeah, what does that actually mean though? Like, if he's a gambler, like, what does that actually mean? Is that just
idea.
Is this another form for we're going to hire you to our 20-man analytics staff that we already have? So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess it's some kind of front office position, but I actually know him from poker. He's actually a pretty good player. He played a lot.
So now this is going to bring in a little bit different guidelines for him, right? Wouldn't this be a massive pay cut going to work for the Dallas Mavericks? I'm sure they're not going to be keen on, if you're traveling the country playing poker, actually betting NBA basketball.
He doesn't. I don't think he bets a ton. I don't think he plays a ton of poker anymore. This was like 5 years ago where he was a real big player, but I would imagine they took care of him pretty lucratively here. I don't think he bets anymore either, from what I've heard. But again, we don't know. There's going to be some sort of stipulation, I'm sure. But I'm sure Cuban took care of him here. What else do we have here tonight? Yeah, as far as baseball, the other one I'm really interested in is the Indians. I'll take that price. I'm having trouble with the stream here, Donnie. Hold on one second. NFL weekend updates, Donnie. What do we have on the?
Yeah, just going over a couple things. As we see on Fridays, you get those practice reports coming in. Rodgers looks like he's full go, practicing a little bit more. Boy, it would be nice if Rodgers was full go and he had some weapons to work with at wide receiver, but severely dinged up, Jeff. The Green Bay Packers coming in light on wide receivers. Jimmy Graham actually returned back to practice, but now you have a couple weapons on the outside going down. Aaron Rodgers going to be on turf, going against Detroit on the road, where he's not the greatest dome player. But hey, look, man, if your knee's banged up a little bit, the last place you want to be is on turf because it's not going to give out that much. And give you all that much cushion. I thought they played an okay game last week versus the Buffalo Bills. 22-0 defense stepped up. But they're going to need a little bit better performance here going against the Detroit Lions. Just some interesting stuff there to see how he's going to make his way through. Apple and Vernon, Jeff, for the New York Giants. Some reserves back on the way, playing the Carolina Panthers off a bye. Nice to finally get your high-paid pass rusher off the bench, but was only limited in practice this week. Is expected to play, but coming off a high ankle sprain, there's no guarantees he's going to return to himself right off the bat. Probably going to work him in, maybe only use him on third down pass rushing situations. But it is nice to get a cornerback. Got some good work this week. Eli Apple looks like he got in some full participation practices heading down to play Carolina. But that team, who knows who you want in that game or how you capped it. You just need this. If you're looking at the New York Giants, which a lot of us are, you see 6.5, or close to 7s all week. You want to try to get involved with an NFL team trying to do that, but it's just hard, man. You watch Eli Manning and just that, sometimes you just hit a wall where you just can't do anything. Your arm strength is weak. You can't get out of the pocket. But you still want to try to build a case for New York Giants, but they are getting some reserves back to see what happens. Some line moves popping off left and right, Jeff. You saw Tennessee open up this week 3.5 in some places, now up to 5.5 with -115, -120 juice. So those lines are on the move there. And we're going to keep an eye, Jeff, on those rookies out there. Baker Mayfield, that's going to be, an interesting spot. Josh Allen in an interesting spot. Going on the road, Josh Rosen as well. So, there's going to be some spots, Sam Darnold at home, that are going to be some make-or-break games for the public. But interesting card nonetheless here if you're looking at the NFL, but some little updates there on some injury-type situations.
Yeah, great work. I actually have made it clear. If you have a rookie quarterback, you fade him, especially on the road. You look at, but even Mayfield, like against a good defense, I would fade him this week. The Titans, they look like a nice play here. Buffalo are pretty poor. And I got to wonder, Josh Allen against that defense, I have a concern there. Broncos and Jets are an interesting line profile because you're starting to see Jet money dissipate. Bronco money coming in, that line's now a pick 'em. By Sunday morning, if that's still Jets pick 'em or Jets -1, the Jets are to play in that game. That's an interesting line. I'm interested to see where that one goes. And then you have the Seahawks and the Rams. A lot of people love this Ram team right now. Do you want to step in front of them? I say the answer is no. Line moving the right way. The Seahawks are lost. You cannot just bet line moves in the NFL. You do have some sort of common sense here. The Rams are a team right now that the numbers move in the right way, and they're just a very good football team. The Donnie made a good point about the Seahawks. What did you say yesterday, Donnie? Their last. What did you say? The last hurrah or something?
Yeah, the last line of defense is gone now. Like Earl Thomas is gone. Like, what do you have? Look, like we talk about, Wagner is an all-pro linebacker. But it's nice when you're all-pro linebacker and the ball flies over your head, Jeff, for the past couple of years, and you go, good luck getting back there with the Legion of Boom, Cam Chancellor. You have Earl Thomas, Richard Sherman, and whoever that rotating cornerback was going to be on the right side, whether it be Maxwell or a couple other guys they threw in there. You felt pretty comfortable. Now, if you're Bobby Wagner, Jeff, you get sucked up in play action and you see that ball fly over your head. What are you thinking now if you're Bobby Wagner? Man, looks like we're not going to be on the field much longer, and that's going to be 6 the other way. So that last stand that you had last week, a nice win by the Seattle Seahawks. Good luck moving forward because this team doesn't have that much left, man. They really don't.
KJ Wright out, Michael Kendricks out, Frank Clark out, Deion Jordan out. This defense is a shell of what they once were. Dangerous spot here against a Rams team that destroyed them last year, is really destroying everyone they play. And keep in mind, last 3 games, Jared Goff has thrown for 342, 350, and 456.
Yeah, and they have a little bit extra rest. And usually say, yeah, man, you're going to Seattle. Like, boy, Michael Bennett and the boys, the Legion of Boom, couple good linebackers. They can give them a game. Like, okay, well, who's stopping what on turf now? Look, I know your fans are going to be loud, and they're always loud in Seattle. But sometimes, loudness doesn't cover up, an offense where everybody's wide open. You can't yell, Jeff, loud enough to push the football out of bounds when a guy's wide open deep.
And, you think about that offensive line for Seattle. You're getting probably one of the best pass rushes in the league. Sue, Donald, Brockers. This is pretty.
Like Russ is going to make his money in this football game, just trying to keep himself alive. Now he can do it. Maybe Doug Baldwin's another week healthier, coming off 2 bad knees. It seems like that he has this year. Maybe even looking at some of the total, because in the past, you'd say, boy, they're going to play good defense. But right from the jump, I mean, the Rams should have Seattle on their heels, which means that Seattle can't do their, if you watch the game versus Arizona last week, it was almost like Seattle was like, we know Arizona can't really do much. Let's see if we can move the football down the field and, get a couple drives together. They couldn't even make any field goals. They should have, for all intents and purposes, might have gotten beat if either one of these teams could have made some field goals. Arizona missed that key field goal down the stretch, which allowed Seattle to march down the field and kick a 50-yarder, 51 or 52-yarder to win that game. But even they mismanaged that last drive for Seattle. There's not much to like about Seattle. But if you're the contrarian saying, hey, man, back in 2005, boy, that was the last time they were getting 7 at home. Yeah, good luck on that one, man, if that's going to be your betting strategy for this.
James Stacy checking in. Jack Jansen, Mr. Say 10, welcome in. Can we trust Cincinnati? I think we can. I think we could trust the Bengals. I mean, Dolphins.
Yeah, the question up there for you, Jeff,
world.
is can we trust Cincinnati? Like, I think they can win this football game. I mean, obviously they're favored, but you're looking at a different Cincinnati now, right, Jeff? Usually it's Cincinnati getting 2 points at home, Cincinnati laying 2, Cincinnati getting 4 here, Cincinnati going on the road getting 6, Cincinnati going on the road Atlanta, what was it, 5.5, 5, whatever it was. Now you role reverse, Jeff. You got to win this football game, but you got to win it by a touchdown in order to cover. That's what we can do. Do you trust Cincinnati now being the hunter in these football games and having to win and win by a decent margin to get the cover?
Yeah, because it's not the playoffs. Look, Cincinnati's generally good in the regular season. I mean, I'm not necessarily worried. And you look at, them against the spread, they've covered 3 or 4 this year. So they're getting the covers in some of these games. I think their offense is good. Defensively, I wonder about them a little bit.
Is this the first game they're favored? Is this the first game they're favored of the year? Cincinnati?
I think that's no, they've been pick'ems in 2 games.
Yeah, so they haven't been favored then.
True.
Yeah, so I mean that's what I'm talking about now. Like we like Cincinnati can show you some value. Like, hey, you don't even need them to win the game. Maybe get 3, get 4, because it looks like pick 'em 3-3. Now you say that game even came down lower because that Atlanta game was much higher than that 5.5, but it looks like it closed at 3. Just at 6 now. So now they're going to play a different type of game. You would think, right? Getting Vontae's Burfict back, coming home in front of the crowd. Looks like Mixon might give it a go. So this would be the spot, but you take the Bengals and you lay the 6. You're like, them damn bad. I can't believe I took the Bengals laying 6, man. What am I, an idiot? Like, I don't want to end up like that.
No, I agree. I surely agree. A lot of people saying Bengals should roll. You cannot say Red Rifle. That's not PC. Can't say that.
No, not
sorry,
the Red
Greg.
Rifle. He's the Ginger Ninja. Yeah, he's the Ginger Ninja.
Yeah.
Forget the Red
You
Rifle.
cannot just call anyone Rifle. That's not allowed anymore. Right, Donnie? You cannot call people by their.
Yes, but I will
say
continually call. Exactly. There's 2 games in college football, which I will say every single time here on the show. The world's largest outdoor cocktail party, which never should have been changed, between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Florida Gators, and the Red River Shootout, one of the best names in all of sport for a rivalry. That's going to stay the same as well. I'm not going to change it to the Red River. Just end the name. End the name then. The Red River rivalry. End it. Don't even just call it Oklahoma, Texas.
I mean, I guess I do understand like the shootout thing because I mean shootouts have been obviously fairly detailed in our society now.
Wordplay, though. You know what I mean? It's just wordplay. They don't. Jeez.
I agree, but hey, I mean, if I wear a mink coat, someone's gonna get mad about it. I mean, it's part of
the teams
part
that
of
call
life,
the Colt 45s and back like the Washington Bullets, man. Come on, man. Let's make it great again. Let's make these sports great again, Jeff. Bring back all these just random names out there, right? Bring back the Syracuse Orangemen. Come on, we need to start getting the St. John's Redmen. You know what I mean? Bring the names back.
So speaking of names, so Donnie, you never really answered my question. So do you consider Goomba to be a derogatory term? Because I do.
No, not really. I just think it's like a side term.
No,
like,
it's basically insinuating that
over there.
It's insinuating
I think you can use it on everybody though, not just like some Italian. You know what I mean? Like you can just call, hey man, these guys are a bunch of goombas over there, like a bunch of nuts. You know what I mean? Like I don't look at it that way on that one. I don't think it's that.
It's basically saying that a Goomba is basically referencing that all Italians are in the mafia, or they're a thug, or some sort of criminal.
Yeah, see, now because I look at it like I look at it more as a friendly term, like, "Geez," like not even an angry term. Like, "Hey, are we gonna go down to the game today? What do you want to sit with those goombas over there?" Like, I don't, you know what I mean? That's just the way I view it. I don't see it as a real bad,
Because
just
in
like a racial slur type. No, I don't see it like that.
because in Sicily and southern Italy, Donnie, kumpa, hey, kumpa. Kumpa is like my friend, my cousin, what's up, cuz? Hey, kumbare. That like Goomba is a little derivative and it's
But yeah, but
like,
even like
hey,
as a
listen,
Yankee fan, Jeff, like, is it like I don't picture Yankee fans as being like straight up Italian though. Like, you know what I mean?
well, I
Like
think a lot of
when you
people
say like,
feel like
"Oh, those stupid Goomba Yankee fans," like I don't picture that as being like an Italian
I
shot. I
think a
just
lot
think
of
it's like,
people
hey,
envision like the regular Italian like a Yankee fan, most people envision Yankee fans as whether you're Puerto Rican, Italian, or whatever, they generally have the slick back hair, gold chain, the open button Yankee jersey.
pick.
Some people have the fedora, the Kango hat on. If you know Tommy Sausage, Donnie, from the that Jersey Shore show, like the guys like that, or even guys like me who maybe are a little overweight and kind of shit like that. Um, but I don't know. It's been questioned on if that is a derogatory thing. But shut up, Mike Felger. Fuck off, will you? Mike
Like even
Felger's a
the like the I would think a worse one for would be like the Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. Why? Because we're drunk and fighting. Like I think that's worse than being called like a bunch of goombas. You know?
Sure, sure. I mean, actually, if you read The Godfather, Donnie, like the original book, Goombas was actually said a few times in the book. And Puzo wrote the book, so I mean, he included it. But I don't know.
Jeff, Jansen
Uh,
Bonzone says, "Who's got a better accent, New York or Bostonians?" I think Boston has the
I don't
single
know.
worst accent on the
I
actual
know.
play. Look, this comes from no hatred. It's just my preference on this. But I think Boston is the single worst like dialect that you could possibly have. Is
Oh
Boston?
yeah. I mean, do you actually know, Donnie, the worst accent in the country? You know who was rated? You know who's
But
worse?
who? Who?
Pittsburgh. They were voted the worst accent, and I have to agree.
Yeah,
I think Pittsburgh's
yeah.
accents are terrible. I mean, just absolutely brutal. But Boston's not far behind. Minnesota's not good either. Sorry, MVP. I know you're from Minnesota. But
Minnesota.
yeah, yeah, that's a tough one. And Boston's tough too. That stupid, pack cat. Like, shut up.
Yeah, it's because it's real. Like it's you can. I mean, look, people can tell I'm from the Philadelphia area wherever I go because us northeasterners we do have a distinct way of talking. But to me, it's just I don't know. Maybe as you get farther up the coast, like it just gets worse because you could tell somebody from New York City, you could tell somebody from Philadelphia, but you really can tell somebody from Boston.
Yeah, yeah, they're annoying. Shut up. I hate Boston. I hate that fucking city. Fucking clowns. Patriot
Where are you
fan.
from?
Shut up.
Where are you from? Providence? What's it to you?
I'm from Dorchester. Shut up. Chowder. Just shut up. Parker Karn beat it.
Louisiana.
Um,
Guan says Louisiana is bad. Maybe you can't understand half the words out of that because
I
we
I
always
think it's kind of fun. I think like Ed Orgeron is funny. Like like they don't even like they don't take breaths.
actually, you know what
I
I
think
like? I like the Southern drawl though. Do you like the Southern drawl? Like you could tell
no.
somebody's like down from, like Alabama,
The
Mississippi.
only
Like I like
accents,
that Southern
Donnie.
drawl.
The only accents that I have that I like would be Philly, New York, and then I'm big on European accents. Like I love like if I could find a woman that here's what I want. If I could find a woman from Italy that has an English accent that speaks Italian, I'm married tomorrow.
No
Like
way.
that.
If I could find somebody who was fluent like in the Jamaican dialect, I would love that. Can you imagine having like a person who had the Jamaican dialect in your house? I would love it. Like whatever they would make for it would sound
Listen,
just wildly delicious for dinner. I would love it.
I'm watching this show on Netflix right now. It's an English show, but it involves basically like southern Jamaican neighborhood in England, in London, and they speak in that dialect. Like they call everyone like blood, fam. Like come on, blood, come on, fam. Like they have that like deep act. You would like it. It's funny. It's about drugs and stuff. It's a good show. But I love those like accents, like the Jamaican. Come on, blood. Come on, fam. give me the weed, blah blah. The way they talk. What I didn't know you liked Jamaican accent, Donnie. That's funny.
Love it. Love it. And I have an affinity. I've been to Jamaica 3 times, and it's one of my favorite spots in the world to vacation. I just love the people. I love the jerk chicken. I just like everything about Jamaica. So maybe I'm just a little bit biased on that, but I'm a big fan of Jamaica.
I mean, I'm fascinated by all accents. I think they're all interesting. Like wherever you go, Donnie. Like in this country, there's so many different areas, and they have different accents. And that's the same in every country. You go to England, they're gonna have like Manchester sound different than London, and London sound different than
I don't like the European accent that much. I'm not gonna lie. Like
I
I'd rather
do.
have a Southern. I love the Jamaican accent, like that whole like islands, like Creole feel. I love that stuff, man.
Yeah, the Southern accent I can't get into. Like, hey, how you doing, buddy? Like, yeah, I'm good. How are you? I'm good. Um, okay, well, the shows I watch, they do, friend. Of course, you would know though. You've probably been there.
You have
Um,
never been to Jamaica, have you?
no, no, no.
I don't know. I just haven't. But then again, this coming from the Cuban guy who likes all flavored stuff and tropical islands. So I guess I do have a bias for that Caribbean area. But Jamaica, if you said, you know what, you can go to any island you want. Now we're not talking about like Turks and Caicos or somewhere wildly exotic like that. But if you want to send me down to like the Virgin Island area, you give me Jamaica every single time down there. And I do love the Virgin Islands, by the way.
Yeah, I would go to Europe. I don't think I would go to those places, but hey, I'm sure they're beautiful nonetheless. Quickly, Donnie, quickly, very quickly. Couple games tonight. Look, we've talked about these games. We've talked about Middle Tennessee Marshall at nauseum. Utah State Brigham Young will be fun. Real clash and styles there out in Provo. Big time offense against a big time slowdown offense that likes to play defense. Utah State could be a real live dog in that game. Yeah, I think. Look, it wouldn't surprise me if any of these dogs won tonight, Donnie. Really, I mean, Georgia Tech, you'd expect to take care of Louisville, but the Cardinal at home. It's Friday night down in Louisville. They're a team that have struggled a little bit to get some capable quarterback play. I could see them hanging around in that game. That game just has the feel of a close one. All these games should be pretty riveting.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Louisville. I'm not gonna like. I need more out of Petrino. Like
No,
I know
sure.
it's going to be hard to transition from Lamar Jackson, who's like a video arcade game out there, Michael Vick on steroids in college football, and it was fun to watch. They put up points, and say what you wanted if you thought he could throw or he couldn't throw. He was electric and good for points. And also, we get that redux now this year. We just see the Louisville offense without that super stud. Because even like way back in the day, like the Abrams of the world, they always had a trigger man that could push the ball, push it downfield, or at least be electric like Lamar Jackson was. It's hard to see it now. And, just defending that Georgia Tech offense, I think Georgia Tech's going to be able to score in this game. But do you like Georgia Tech on the road as a favorite is something you have to get into? But if I don't trust the Louisville offense, that normal Bobby Petrino offense, I might lean on Georgia Tech in this one.
Donnie's your wife, Jamaican.
No, my wife is not Jamaican. No.
No, she's from South Philly.
Exactly.
Uh,
And you wouldn't
why
even
do you
know it
like?
if you looked at her. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, if you said to me, Jeff, where is my wife from? And when I met her, I would have probably said
Sweden
like
or
South
something.
Jersey. Yeah, I could see
Yeah.
that. I could see Norway actually, like Norway or like Denmark or something.
Yeah.
She like
Yeah.
open,
Yeah.
like she sounds kind of like I could see her, yeah, like an accent, maybe like a Heidi Klum accent. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, no,
But yeah,
she
South
always used
Philly,
to
I was
joke when she
surprised.
was a kid, Jeff, all the kids would call her Metagon, back then because like say, hey,
Sure,
look, here comes, so and so. Yeah, she's Italian. Like, she
blonde
ain't
hair.
Italian.
Yeah, right. No, my boy Ryan, he's got red hair.
Yep.
He's Italian, and
Yeah, and you'd
I
be
mean,
like, no, he's not. Like, why are you trying to pass him off as something else that he's not?
he
Hey,
looks
would you
fucking
welcome
hot.
in here? What are you, Irish over there? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's like, well, look at DiVincenzo. He was Italian, red
Yeah,
hair.
big rag. Sure.
But yeah, let's wrap it up here, Donnie. A lackluster week in college football, you say. We'll
Stinks.
see. We'll see if
Stinks.
there's some value. You said it stinks.
I think it stinks, but that doesn't mean, Jeff, you can't spend that same green
Sure.
money when you win, though. I'm just not excited overall about saying, you know what, Jeff? Got to be in my seat. I'm a huge, me, I'm a huge Miami Hurricanes fan. You couldn't even tell, like, if I was, hey, look, FSU Miami's on tomorrow. I'm like, oh, that's right. Normally every year it's like, yes, can't wait all week long. And now I'm saying, like, oh, that's right, it is on tomorrow night. Yeah, geez, man, what happened?
Not a fun, riveting rivalry anymore. All right, Donnie, we'll wrap it up. We'll be back at 3 o'clock on the radio. Make sure you check us out. WCKG Chicago, 15:30 a.m. 102.3 FM. You can also check it out on the app. You download their app. You can also get them on iHeartRadio as well, just by typing in WCKG. You can listen to us from a variety of platforms. Make sure you check us out. Should be figuring out the call thing soon. We'll be able to hear some of you guys. And yeah, we'll keep it moving and end the week on a high note. 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. Make sure you check out the closing line with Donnie and myself. We'll see you then, Donnie. Have a great day, everybody. And we'll see you over the weekend here at SBR. Have a great day. Bye-bye.